Ever since 2007, when the Gold Coast Titans were introduced as the third Queensland team into the NRL, there have been talks ever since about where a new team will come into the NRL. As of just recently, 3 bids have met up with the NRL CEO, Peter V'landys, and have had their pitch about why they should be the 17th team into the NRL. Today we will look into these 3 teams and judge for ourselves which one would seem to be the most likely to enter the NRL. Representing the East Tigers club, they play in the Queensland club, the Brisbane Firehawks are one of the 3 teams that are pitching to be put into the NRL. They are set to be based south of the Brisbane River and to play their home games alongside the Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. They currently have an asset worth of around $80 million and $25 million in cash reserves. The club is currently heavily linked to Wayne Bennett becoming the head coach of the team. They are also talking about bringing in Cameron Munster as a marquee signing for when the team gets brought in. As Munster is signed with the Melbourne Storm until 2023, it would make sense for him to return home to his beloved Queensland. Which makes sense as the Firehawks reach an agreement with one of the interest Super Cup teams, the Central Queensland Capras, who Cameron Munster debuted for when he was 17. Their logo is quoted as representing "Our bold colours of black and orange pay homage to the history of East, whilst the blue and gold pay homage to the home city of Brisbane. Like the legendary Firehawk, a bird of prey, we are hunters, not cannibals." Bit on the nose, really. With their location, it would form a Brisbane rivalry against the Broncos, and they do currently have the demands financially for the NRL, and they could also use the East Tigers as depth for their ranks. The only real issue stepping in the way of these Firehawks is the amount of fans that would actually come and support them, as the Dolphins and Jets have a more secure fan base. The Brisbane Jets is actually a combination of one of the other bids that was going through of the Brisbane Bombers, with a merging of the Western Corridor and the Ipswich Jets team that play in the Queensland Cup. Though they would be based in Ipswich, they would only be playing their home games at Suncorp, which is a bit of a how-do-you-do situation. But compared to the other 2 teams that are going for these bids, they don't have as much money. Eventually, they have set plans to actually build a 20,000 capacity stadium in Ipswich, going to cost around $250 million. One of the big factors for them is that they actually have a fan base in Ipswich that already supports the team in the Ipswich Jets. And with a predicted population boom, this would fairly help them. Like the Firehawks, Wayne Bennett has actually been linked to coach the team if they would come in. The area is a very big rugby league heartland, which is actually going to be a good position to bring players into the comp. In 2016, it stated that Brisbane had 11,000 registered players and the Western Corridor having 16,000, which just showed how rugby league mad the community is. The Ipswich Jets are actually currently the feeder club for the Newcastle Knights, for some reason. But the only factor that's really going to probably put them in the negative is the capital, as they don't have as much as the other 2 teams. As of making this video, the NRL put out an article talking about how representatives from both the Firehawks and the Jets have begun discussions about the rival teams' bid forming a partnership in the hope of achieving the 17th licence. As Torpy, who would be the set CEO for the Brisbane Firehawks, has said, "The Firehawks and the Jets met this afternoon to consider the benefits associated with both of their bids for the 17th team in the NRL competition." With that being said, a merger between the Firehawks and the Jets, the Firehawks with the capital and the Jets with the crazy amount of rugby league players in the area, could potentially push them over the line, and both getting a happy ending and securing the 17th team bid. We now move on to the final team going for this bid, the Redcliffe Dolphins, which I would have to say would probably in the front running to actually getting this license. Currently based in the facility of the Moreton Daily Stadium, where in recent weeks NRL games have actually been held. And of course, the stadium has been used by the Brisbane Roar in the Hyundai A-League for their home season. But I would also say that they will be playing some home games at Suncorp as well. In terms of capital, the Redcliffe Dolphins have a whopping $100 million worth of assets, and the league's club next door to the ground has a yearly turnaround of approximately $34 million. Out of the three teams, it also has the richest history, as the Redcliffe Dolphins have been around since 1947 and have won 6 premierships in Queensland. To continue with consistency, Wayne Bennett has actually also been associated with this team, but has actually publicly backed the Dolphins as the strongest bid due to their financial situation, as well as the league's club that will be behind them. The only real issue for the Redcliffe bid is that it's quite a difficult area for large Queenslanders to actually have an affiliation with the club due to its geographic location. So finding new fans might be a little troubling. So those are the 3 bids. By the way things are looking, it actually might just be limited down to 2 bids if the Firehawks and the Jets do merge. But I will say though, if I was to personally pick one of these bids to actually become the 17th team in 2023 or 2024, depending on this whole COVID situation, I honestly think that Redcliffe would probably be the best choice, as of course they've had the facilities to host these NRL games, as the NRL is currently in the Queensland bubble, and I feel like they'll be the best fit. However, I wouldn't be surprised if this Firehawks and Jets merge might outdo them. So what do you guys think? Which of these 3 teams do you think should become the 17th team? If you think none of them, which area do you think should have the NRL team? Should Perth and Adelaide come back? Should the Central Coast get a team? Hell, could even New Zealand get a second team? Let me know in the comments below. I've been ZTank99, and thanks for watching.